Hey, Kason, what's going on, man? Hey, sorry, it took me a couple extra days to get this video out to you, but wanted to record a quick video for you. So, here's my thought process. It's so hard to build a life insurance policy that's going to meet all of the needs forevermore. So the objective really is pretty clear. We usually try to help people set up a savings goal. That's the easiest and the best way to build these policies. So if your target is $10,000, there's a ton of flexibility in that target, but that's the target that we would shoot for. And with that in mind, I reran the same illustration to try to show you a scenario where you'd have some flexibility in that. Okay, and so remember, this policy is built to where the absolute most you can put in is $10,000. I bought you just enough death benefit to hit that. The minimum that you would have to put in is $22.89. Okay, and then you can be flexible anywhere in between those two numbers, right? So the objective would be to hit 10, but if you don't hit 10, there's no penalty in not hitting 10. So if you hit 10 up front or in the first year, that 10 converts into $7,300 in cash value. If you hit 10 in year 2, then most of your cost now is baked out of the policy forever, which means in year 2, your cash goes from 7 to 15, but by year 3, even if you drop down and put in less than 10, I just show you putting in 5 here, your cash goes from $15,000 to $20,000. Nearly every dollar that you're putting in is now showing up in cash value. By year 4, you could put in 10, you could actually put in 15, because remember, in any given year, if you don't hit the maximum, you can go back and fill up what you missed. So in this year, if you wanted to, you could put in 10 or you could put in 15, right? The 15 would fill up the policy for year 4, plus it would allow you to go back to year 3 and fill up that year. So I did that for you in year 5 just so you could see it, right? In year 4, if you only put in $5,000, your cash goes from 20 to 26. So even if that's all you're putting in, every dollar that you put in shows up in cash value. And then in year 5, I'm showing you putting in 15, which would fill up the policy for year 5, but then backfill the policy for year 4. Okay, there's no penalty if you don't do that. There's no downside other than you'll have a little bit less cash value. But beginning in year 3, really every dollar that you put into the policy from that point forward shows up in cash value. So as long as you can hit your target for year 1 and year 2, by year 3 you've overcome the cost of insurance. So if 10 is your target, it makes way more sense to build a policy for 10 than it does for 5. If 10 is not your target, then we build a policy for 5 or for 7 or whatever it is. But this is the best way I know how to show this to you. And I know, I know that there's tons of different ways we could look at this, but hopefully this gives you some of the flexibility that you're looking for. And again, in this example, I show you putting in money for 15 years. You could put money in for longer than that, for less time, and then the minimum only, just so you could see how the policy is growing. So that's really how the policy works. Let me know what questions you have. Now that you are approved, we can finalize your policy whenever you're ready. So if 10 is your target, this would be the policy. The only thing I would need from you is to know how much money you're going to put in up front. The only thing that has to be scheduled is the $22.89, and that could be paid monthly, it could be paid quarterly, it could be paid semi-annually, or it could be paid annually. Okay, so if I know that, then I can set up your policy. If you plan on writing $10,000, then everything's good to go anyway, but you just let me know. So anyway, Kason, hopefully this helps. Let me know what questions or thoughts you have, and we'll go from there. See ya.